Hello everyone, welcome to Aptera Owners Club. Aptera released a new video today about their track, and so I thought we'd watch it together and maybe give you my thoughts and comments on it.
Hey Aptera fans, we're here today with most of the Aptera team trackside doing some dynamic testing of the beta vehicles.
So it looked like they were about to charge the vehicle right there, and they didn't show us where it is. And it looks like several guys actually got to drove the car. If you look here, there's two guys. One's wearing blue, one's wearing gray, and you'll see in the other videos it's a different set of guys.
Testing of the beta vehicles. Today we're testing things like acceleration, turning radius.
Okay, hopefully they're going to give us some data on this stuff at some point, but that acceleration looked pretty fast, which is cool.
Turning radius.
Yeah, that was pretty quick. And then if you look at this turning radius, if you look at it frame by frame, you do see that the rear wheel is deforming right here. And this wheel is canting over too. So yeah, they're definitely stressing their suspension system. You can see like this wheel is canted and so is this. And let's go back and look at how much
of the beta vehicles. Today we're testing things like acceleration, turning radius, braking, and validating.
Yeah, so that's pretty aggressive turning. So we'll have to, hopefully maybe they did a slalom course or did a constant radius turn, figure out how many lateral Gs it's pulling. I would guess that's close to 1 G laterally, maybe.
We're testing things like acceleration, turning radius, braking, and...
Okay, maybe not 1 G, probably less. I mean, I wouldn't expect a three-wheeler to handle like a four-wheeler, but that's some pretty aggressive turning.
Today we're testing things like acceleration, turning radius, braking, and validating the Atom suspension model. These tests are really important because it validates the changes that the team has been working on so far.
So if you look at this, the upper control arm is almost horizontal. And so it's, in the previous pictures, I kind of thought that it was canted a little more, but it looks like the control arms are mostly horizontal.
Look for exciting footage from...
You can see that again. And so it means the ground clearance is pretty good in the middle. So high centering the vehicle will be relatively hard.
The track over the next few weeks.
A lot of people are asking what this is. People are thinking this is a drive shaft. This is definitely not the drive shaft. These are hub motors. And this is the steering control linkage, or the steering rod. And it goes into the back part of this this assembly right here. And then you can see the tubing for the cooling, which goes to the radiator up front. And then this radiator is installed just because they don't have the cooling channels installed on the belly of this. Because this, I think, is just to test the suspension. Each beta vehicle is going to test a certain component of it. They're not making complete cars. This is just suspension, and that's why they put a roll cage on this thing, because they plan on doing maneuvers to failure, I think. And they think that they may flip the vehicle by stressing it to its failure point. So they did not install the regular cooling system that the regular Aptera will have, which is cooling channels on the belly of it. They put a radiator in the front. And so you can see the orange lines are the coolant lines, and the black lines here are the electricity delivery lines. And they're well hidden, and these new control arms are much more aerodynamic. And you can see the routing of the cables is on the lower control arm, which is much more aerodynamic. And this is definitely the steering linkage.
Aptera has been growing pretty quickly too. I'd like to announce that Brian Snow has joined our board of...
Oh, and the other thing,
Aptera has been growing.
When I first saw they had some Instagram footage of this very briefly in their stories, and I thought that I knew where this was because I passed by on my way to Mammoth these proving grounds, and there's a Hyundai motor proving ground, and there is a Honda motor proving ground here. And it's in the deserts north of Los Angeles. And it's about 3.5 hours to get there from Aptera Motors. And I thought that that's what they were doing. And the mountains we saw in the background were the Southern Sierras. And so that I was pretty sure that that's where they were going. But
Going pretty quick.
when you look here, it's Chakwala Raceway. And that's over here. Just east of Joshua Tree after you pass past the summit here. And if you look here, yeah, this is definitely the spot. Yeah, so these are the mountains that we're seeing in the background, are these desert mountains. This one, yeah, we're seeing that in the background.
Quickly too, I'd like to announce that Brian Snow has joined our board of directors. As a strategic advisor and investor, Brian's experience in catalyzing growth amongst...
Okay, so we had a video about that. Brian Snow is a venture capitalist, and his venture capital firm has invested in Aptera, and he's joined the board of directors.
A wide range of startups brings invaluable skill to our board.
And if you want to make a big impact on the health of our planet, Aptera might be the right place for you. We now have a careers page on our website where you can learn more about our culture.
Okay, so I went and checked it out. Here's their careers page, and looks like they have 4 positions open right now. Social media specialist, technical writer, battery test engineer. So this one's the most exciting. They're looking for an engineer to introduce new battery designs into high volume manufacturing. So they're tweaking their designs for high volume manufacturing, which is good. And then a functional safety engineer. So the safety, I think, of both the vehicle and the manufacturing plant, because the safety systems of the vehicle interface with suppliers. So yeah. I think this thing will continue to change. They're going on a hiring spree, which is good as they're ramping toward production. It means that they're spending their money on human capital, and human capital is what's important when you're ramping a vehicle.
And the open positions we have. Check out aptera.us/careers. We've also reopened our fundraising round. So if you want to join us on our journey to make the world of transportation more efficient, you can invest through our website with Ethereum, Bitcoin, or US dollars.
Okay, so I think he scrolled by it really quick, but yeah, so here it is. The share price has changed to 920, and our latest video was talking about that quick share price change, which was up from 880 to now it's 920. And the new thing he said is that they're taking on Ethereum and Bitcoin, which I have mixed feelings about.
Now we've got some test driving to do. See you soon.
So here's some guys. I saw at least 3 different sets of drivers. Here's the mountains that you see right here. I was trying to figure out what this is. It says Kistler. I'm wondering if that's the name of one of the guys or it's some name of a company that has some test equipment. I think those suspension control arms look really nice. They look very smooth. All right, so hopefully they're going to give us some numbers from this test track. And I think looking at this picture, I think the rear jacking point has to be here or maybe underneath here. I don't think this is too far forward since this thing is like 66-33 weight bias. The weight bias is way in the front. So the center of gravity is probably about here. So if you could still probably make a jacking point work here, but I'm thinking the jacking point is here for the rear wheel, but we shall see. Anyways, exciting that they're testing the suspension and giving, doing test to failure. So what I would really like to see more than the videos is data on like 0 to 60 times, braking times, slalom times, lateral G, skid pad values. Those kinds of things would be kind of nice to know, and hopefully we will get that information in the near future. Thanks for watching.